Nicole Scott here from Mobile Geeks, and here I am in beautiful Taidong on the east coast of Taiwan. And I'm going to be reviewing the ASUS MeMO Pad 7. So let's take the MeMO Pad 7 out of the box. For $150, you can expect that there won't be a lot of frills. Here's the tablet. We have a PSU, an instruction booklet, English and Chinese with a warranty, and a mini USB cable. Now let's head down to the beach to check out the hardware. What we have here is a 7-inch Android tablet running an Intel Atom Z3745 with 4 cores running at 1.3 GHz, 1.86 if you count Turbo Boost, 1 GB of RAM, a choice of either 8 or 16 GB of memory, an SD card slot, 2 megapixel front-facing camera, and a 5 megapixel in the rear. It also comes with a 3,910 mAh battery. It weighs in at 295 grams and is only 9.6 millimeters thick. The display is 1280 by 800. It's an IPS panel, and it's, well, a lot better than I thought it would be. If I kind of do a little viewing angle test, well, I am outside, even though I'm in the shade, but you can see that it doesn't really, it offers pretty good viewing angles. It's very glossy, so there is that, but I think that the colors are great. The brightness is, for outdoor, it could be a little bit better because of the glossy display, but I think that the color saturation is just really nice and vibrant. My one complaint would be that, well, A, I wanted a little bit brighter, and B, it's interesting that one of the corners that they cut to make this a budget tablet is there's no ambient light sensor. So this is good and bad. So if you kind of set it low, you'll save a lot of battery life. So there it's at minimum brightness. If we pull it up, that's what it's like at maximum brightness, which is fine. But not having the ambient light sensor and the auto will actually save you on battery life because the display is not changing brightness all the time. Design-wise, ASUS has really knocked it out of the park. The finish on this feels incredibly premium. It's like a soft touch plastic. I even had to do a little bit of research to see if this aluminum rim here was actually aluminum. It's not. As far as I can find out online, it actually is made of plastic. But it's just that good that I had to check around. The one thing that I would change is the button placement. I would put the power button on top. It's where you automatically feel for it, so I was constantly always kind of trying to turn the tablet on by pressing the power up. But ASUS has on their previous MeMO pads as well put the buttons kind of on the back. Now if we take a closer look, when you run your thumb down the side to look for the power button, sometimes you just kind of miss it. And if you're just feeling, often I forget, oh, I have to run my hand down the back of the tablet. And I've had previous generations of MeMO pads, and it's something that I've never really gotten used to. I'm also not that big of a fan of having the micro USB on top. If I have to charge it up while I'm using it, it's a little bit awkward, but I think that's a personal preference more than anything. When it comes to audio, we're dealing with a single mono speaker, but that doesn't stop it from being moderately loud and, well, very clean and clear, actually. If we just play a little bit of music here. The audio is clean and clear. It doesn't really have bass, but it's not tinny either. When it's definitely enough for sharing, that's for sure. But if we stop this off,
This questions, and it has. I haven't answered those questions, but I think the American people deserve answers, don't you?
So for video playback, it's definitely loud enough. And the other thing that I should point out is ASUS has always included extra features like audio wizards. So there's gaming mode, music mode, speech mode, movie mode. So I mean, this is a really nice addition. So now I've already done a review of the Zenfone 6, which is also sporting the Zen UI. So I have grown quite fond of it. Originally I was a little skeptical, but it has a lot of really great additions. So there's reading mode, which adjusts the display. We have instant dictionary, which is just fabulous if you're like me living in Asia. You can also change the order of your settings here. And then notifications pull down on the other side. ASUS always seems to ship Splendid for their display to change the color temperature, Vivid on and off. There's Audio Wizard, Supernote, it comes with a native file manager. Do It Later is kind of nice, so you can put these in and it'll remind you to do stuff. Comes with a dictionary, clock calculator, all of these things. If we head into the back end, I mean, it's still got a nice vanilla feeling to it with some, interesting little additions like what's next. So this pulls off my Google Calendar, and if I just turn on the display, it'll show me, immediately here what I have coming up next. I can also go straight to camera, my email, internet, and then, of course, there's Google Now down at the bottom. So feature-wise, we actually have a lot of really premium features. So there's HDR, time rewind, so if you're jumping, you can get the perfect moment, panorama, nighttime, which is always really great, selfie mode, so this will actually detect how many people are in the photo, so you can use the rear-facing camera to take pictures. So that's 5 megapixels versus the 2 here on the front. Now what else do we have? The depth of field, it's not too bad. Smart removed, objects removed in the back, everyone's smiling. Beautification, we've seen all of these before. They're a lot of fun, and you can even make your own GIF. Now, let's get out of selfie mode into auto mode. But let's check out some of the features. So we can do white balance, which is nice. Choose our own ISO, exposure, optimization, which kind of 1080p or 720, anti-shake, so for stabilization when you're taking photos, instant autofocus, continuous autofocus, so it'll actually track stuff. Full HD, you can choose video stabilization. But one other cool thing is, and this is where we start to see one of the features from the Intel processor that they've been pushing. So this does live filters. You can see, which actually takes quite a lot of power. And it's nice that if you're taking, lots of pictures, that you can, know what it looks like before you put the filters on. So what's my final verdict on this tablet? $149, I really think you can't go wrong. ASUS has made this feel like a premium tablet at an incredibly budget price. I like the kind of faux aluminum around the front, the soft touch plastic on the back, feels unbelievable. The camera, not so great. When you're actually filming stuff, it looks way worse than when you play it back. But still, a lot of the photo quality, I would not be relying on this for my vacation photos. But the 2 megapixel selfie cam in the front works quite well. So if you're for Facebook and you love taking selfies, this is totally the tablet for you. If you want to do Skype calls, the microphone quality sounded quite good. All in all, I think that this is a phenomenal tablet. The Intel processor has provided incredibly snappy performance. The benchmarks for the price are more than enough. But even if you walk away from the benchmarks and just look at real world performance, the UI is buttery. When I go to open games like Asphalt 8, I have to wait. But once the game's going, you can play a lot of graphically intensive games on this. Most mid-range processors now can kind of handle most graphically intensive games. I mean, it's things like Anomaly, which is to me quite a boring game, but that it will push the processor. But if you're just into, like, say, racing games, Angry Birds, casual games, I think that this is definitely more than enough. Playing D-Day as well, the touch on this, very good. This is one of the things that I started to find with mid-range tablets and mid-range smartphones, It's that you're not sure if it's the processor or the shitty touchscreen, right? That sometimes the game is being unresponsive. But this stood up absolutely no problem. So would I recommend that you pick this up if you're looking for a good performing tablet on a budget? Absolutely. It has been in my purse for the past 6 days, no case, no scratches on the front or the back, really nice solid build quality. I know with my review of the ASUS Zenfone 6, I thought, they could have increased the strength of the chassis just a little bit, but on this one, I think it's got some really good construction. So, I'm Nicole Scott from Mobile Geeks, taking a quick look at the ASUS MeMO Pad 7.
What?